to drive these policies to its logical conclusion. When a girl child is made to go through education, primary, secondary, and tertiary or skill acquisition, one, she gets more matured. She does not think of marriage because she wants also to achieve something. And what happens to her is by the time she's probably out of university, she probably can't be less than 19. So even if she's forced into marriage, then her body is not ready. Yes, is ready. Emotionally, she can also cope. Not only that, she is also, because she has tasted a bit of good education, she would want her children to be better. Then she can also look after them better, give them better health facilities. She understands why she has to go for antenatal. She understands why she has to breastfeed the child for a year, because she's read, she's listening to these things. So we're talking about real girl, child, female empowerment. Let me put it like that. If the woman is empowered in this nation, it's going to do a lot to what we are going through in our population, with all the gloom pictures you have painted here. It's also because the women are not empowered. And do not forget that the population of women in Nigeria is almost on the same, at par with that of men. So as much as we're educating our men, we must learn to educate the women. The era of she's a girl, she can stop at this, or when she does this, then she's ready for marriage, must go.
But then you now need to answer the question of, we have challenges with multiculturalism, we have challenges with religion, and then the political will. Not just the political will and traditional will, because we have the traditional rulers and then we have the political leaders. So how do we get these two people to work together to ensure the issue of multiculturalism and religion is somewhat like put on the back burner so that the issue of development can be put forward?
What we are doing is this. That's why I said we need to do voluntary family planning and child spacing. You cannot force certain things on people in this country. There are people that believe that children are gifts from God, and you cannot stop it. For example, the Catholics don't believe in contraceptives, but they have their own way of child spacing. What we do is to encourage, if it works for you, we only preach it and we encourage it. There's no way you can force it. And we talk to the traditional people. There's a lot of advocacy that we do to let people know that if we go on at this rate, our women, our females are extremely fertile. And the rate of fertility, our pyramid base is very wide in this country. And we need to check it. And the best way to check it, what we are going to make available, contraceptives. We must begin to let people know it's important. Family planning, child spacing, and then you must, like I keep saying, educate the girl child. When she goes to school, she's straightened out, kind of. Education is key. Skill acquisition is key. When she has gone to school and she knows she's struggling to train a child, she won't want to have 4 or 5 because she wants to give a better life to that child. So it is very key. And then there has to be job creation. Nigeria has almost, some say 42, but between 42 to 60% of Nigeria are youth. And by now, we should also be taking advantage of what we call demographic dividend. That is when you have less dependence. When our youths are gainfully employed, they are going to at least look after themselves. Then they can also take 1 or 2 members of the family that would depend on them, not where you have 20, 30 people looking up to one person. So we must begin to invest in our youth. We must enjoy demographic dividend. The danger in not enjoying, ensuring that the country enjoys demographic dividend is really serious, because if the youths are not gainfully employed, it could be the other way around.
Naomi? I think back now and I remember that in General Babangida's time, there was a policy about 4 children per woman. Am I correct? Not per family, per woman. Yeah. What happened to that policy?
Well, it was typed. And it was written in the policy.
There you go. There you go.
Well, again, just to back up to what Madam said related to the policy, I don't think we can afford not to have a system of incentives to deal with the issue about population. we can't say people should keep giving bad weight, like, because culture says so.
But it did not work in Germany, remember?
If Mary Slessor had said the same thing,
they were offered nappies, they were offered
and I agree,
pay your children's school fees to university level, and they still refuse to have children.
We have examples all over the world of what has
They
happened.
refuse to have children.
Yes.
Yeah, but in this case now, we're having children.
No, it says incentives. They were given all the incentives.
No, incentives for people not to overproduce children. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, so talking about culture, because we have used culture to explain too many things about our backwardness in Africa. But there was a woman called Mrs. Lester that stopped the killing of twins, and we still talk about her now. So our problem is not culture. We used to have a culture in Yoruba land of Abobaku. Nobody dies with the king any longer. We have changed cultures, and it's a role of leadership. And it's a role of leadership to address culture. That was the whole argument that says that politics is a tool for changing culture. I mean, totally, the basis of the Republican Party, for example, is that you can use culture to change politics. I do not agree to a leadership that says we should leave culture the way it is. Because, one, even the culture did not say you should have many children. The Yoruba saying says, Omo bere o shibere. So there is no Yoruba basis for having too many children. When we talk about religion, we'll say things like God says, be fruitful and multiply. But there's also the place for wisdom in the Bible, in the Quran. The funniest thing is that Indonesia was able to manage its population growth using religious organizations. So instead of us saying people should mobilize the pastors who preach on Sundays and imams, let them look into the holy books on Fridays. Let them look into the holy books and bring principles to help people make the right decision.
Okay, you will continue from that point when we come back from this break.